Hey, what's going on, guys? Today, I'm going to be doing the movies that I watched in March. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter one because I didn't really watch that many movies in March. So we're just going to get this out there real quick. And then, yeah, let's get started. So the first movie I watched in March was this little, Italian movie called Breathless from 1960. It was another movie that I watched in my film class, of course, because who would watch something like this by themselves, right, guys? Anyways, this was a very heavily dialogue-run movie. The dialogue was very good, and it was a very sexy movie, which is something that, in this time period, in this area, the new wave of Italian cinema was very heavily sexual oriented and, kind of like a newer generation breaking out into a new style of filmmaking. And I thought it was portrayed very well in this movie. Other than that, I don't know what else I could say about it. Good movie. Great movie, actually. And then I watched The Banshees of Inisherin. Now this movie really hit me hard. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's a movie that is about something that, in the grand scheme of what's going on in this world, it doesn't seem important, but the movie makes it feel like it is the most important thing that is going on. It's just these two guys battling each other and battling themselves. And the cinematography is amazing. It's shot very well. The story captures you throughout the whole movie, and I loved it. And then I watched The Gorge. Now this movie was, kind of just entertainment slop. There wasn't anything crazily wrong with the movie. It was just kind of boring colors, and the editing was a little weird. It kind of messed up the pacing, but it was an enjoyable sci-fi movie. Definitely switched the tone halfway through, which was fine. It turned into kind of like a weird romance into the sci-fi part, but I think both halves were enjoyable. They were entertaining, and I felt like that's all this movie was kind of going for. And it did it well. So I enjoyed The Gorge. And then I watched Black Panther for my film class, actually. Believe it or not, this was my first time watching this movie. I watched the second one before I watched this one, and I could tell you the first one is definitely a lot better. The action just brings me back to when Marvel was good. Ryan Coogler's direction really shows in this movie, and I think obviously Sinners is his prime, but we'll get to that movie in a different video. But I really enjoyed Black Panther. Everyone did amazing. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. It was a great movie. And then, again for my film class, I watched The Motorcycle Diaries. This was such a heartwarming movie about two dudes going across the world for their goal, and the people they meet along the way, the adventures they see. It's so cool to just watch this kind of stuff happen, because a lot of the people in this movie were not actors. They were real people in these real locations that the movie was filmed in, which I thought was amazing, and I love it when movies do this kind of thing. And it was visually really good, but I think the biggest takeaway from this movie was the story and the plot and the characters were all a part of what made this movie so heartwarming. Great film. Definitely check it out. And lastly this month, yeah, that's right, we're already at the end, I watched Nickel Boys. Last but definitely not least, this movie was amazing. Cinema like jumped in time when I watched this movie. The score is amazing. Some parts of the score felt like it was like going into like a thriller kind of feeling, but it wasn't, and it was just a really good score, and it fit everything very well. But obviously the standout for this film is the incredibly unique cinematic approach that it went on with the point of view style of shooting. And I thought it was done perfectly. It was beautifully well done. And it made, and the way they did it with like hiding some characters was super cool and super unique, and it worked very well for the plot twist that happened in the end. And I think it captures such a meaningful story in the perfect way. And if you haven't watched this movie, you gotta give it a try. It is beautiful storytelling. 10 out of 10. And yeah, that would be it for the movies I watched in March. I only watched 6 movies, so didn't get that much out. But if you guys enjoyed this video, check out my other ones that I made for January and February if you haven't. And then keep watch for my next Lethal Company video, probably. Or whatever my next video might be. Anyways, thanks for watching. Goodbye.